You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
Doing pretty well. Just doing what I do. The
Yeah.
huge, stumbling around the prairie, doing the huge.
Yeah.
Trying to increase my use of microaggressions. And
That's nice.
Increasing my carbon footprint whenever I can.
I was just looking
busy.
for an umbrella yesterday. It was wet and cold and felt like winter was here early.
Yeah, we do not own an umbrella.
Who doesn't own an umbrella?
Dan's
We
got an
don't.
umbrella.
I have
He
an
got
umbrella.
it free with a really expensive
Did
event
you
or
use your
something.
umbrella yesterday?
The only reason I even have an umbrella is Beal Distributing was a co-sponsor for a golf tournament I was in the mid-'90s.
See, I heard this.
When I open my umbrella, there's the Budweiser symbol right there. So that's why I have an umbrella.
See? We don't have that fun story, and we don't have an umbrella.
And speaking of days gone by, and who isn't, it was 1950. Goodness gracious, we were just tykes.
Yes.
The very first sighting of Charlie Brown in a comic strip, published in 7 papers across the country.
Charles Schultz.
Titled Lil Folks.
Yeah.
Originally, it would morph
Really?
into Peanuts down the line. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It was little folks.
True story. And also Sting. Gordon Sumner, to you and me, is 68 today.
You know how you
Believe
got
it
the
or
nickname
don't.
Sting?
Why, how, who cares? I
You
do.
know this, Heidi?
What?
I don't think
I
know
heard
this.
Casey Kasem on this very radio station tell me the story. He was with his dad when he was a little boy. He had like a yellow and black shirt that was striped like a bee.
Oh.
So they said, you look like a bee, and they started calling him Sting.
Okay.
And it just stuck. So,
Well, it's not new. It's cool now.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It always sounded pretty cool.
Sting.
Now that I know it's from
You
a
know the
yellow
story.
shirt.
Just kind of a dork
Yeah.
dad. Drunk uncles chiming in.
Sure didn't mean to ruin that for you.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because bees play a huge part in this particular Dan Farris bonus hour. So let's just
Oh, good.
roll on, kids.
All right,
More
let's do it.
bee stuff coming your way.
Lots of
Thanks for
bee
listening.
stuff.
It's always been a bee show, but oh, wait a minute. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on them critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger
Ranger
Dan.
You little Radio Ranger culprits, you. Little whippersnappers, you tykes, you God's little children, guys.
Cherubs?
Dang it anyway. Yeah. You know, when I can, I like to follow politics. We'll get into critters in just a second, but this ties in perfectly. The powers that be right here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, holding little meetings, and it looks like they're going to green light residents being able to keep bees on their residential properties.
Okay.
Yeah, Teresa Staley was talking about that.
And Teresa's, she's a big bee lady, that's for darn sure. She's
Yeah.
got flowers all over her property. I only know that because I rumble through at night. And
I hope not.
bees have been around forever, and you may or may not know this, but there is up to 20,000 different bee species on God's green earth.
Ooh.
It's a whole lot of bees.
Only real way to tell them apart is by their accents.
He's got a bit of a southern drawl to his buzz.
Bees are vital. They are vital, and they've been disappearing. You may or may not know this, little radio rangers, but bee populations have been falling for the past couple decades or so. Scientists and bee people are not quite sure how to figure that out, but it's great news that we can now keep bees. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Ranger Dan, how can I, yes, I, as a little radio ranger, get in on the ground floor of this beekeeping thing, which I understand is a real money maker? Glad you asked.
I got a feeling Ranger Dan Enterprises.
Funny you should mention that, John. Ranger Dan Enterprise is a subsidiary of Ranger Dan Global, which may or may not be a 501c3 nonprofit. It's offering Ranger Dan's Big Buzzin' Box of Bees. Yes, it's true. For just $24.95 plus shipping and handling, you receive your very own box of bees. This box is stuffed with queen bee. Got to have a queen.
Oh, okay.
You also get 24 drones. They're there to keep, well, the queen happy. And up to 7 dozen worker bees that do all that stuff that bees do that people seem to be so darn concerned and fascinated about. Yeah, that's just $24.95. That's over 100 bees.
It's like a quarter a bee.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, nice.
Order your Ranger Dan's Big Buzz Box Bees before midnight tonight, and as a precautionary measure, you will receive at no additional cost 16-ounce can of Ranger Dan's Big Stinger Wasp and Hornet Killer. Should things go south on you. That's Ranger Dan's Big Buzz Box of Bees, available now on Amazon Prime. That's it for today's segment, Little Radio Rangers. Remember, stay in school, go to church, say your prayers, eat vegetables. Don't play soccer, and goodness gracious, don't let me catch you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out. Yes.
Ranger Dan's Critter Corner. Sounding more and more like an infomercial every day. But it's right here on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3, and we appreciate that. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris is at the ready with some cutting-edge, late-breaking news, so fresh that he's making it up as we speak. What are you writing over there, Dan?
Exactly what you just said.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're doing.
No, you know, the art, the craft, as it were, a centuries-old craft, being an investigative journalist, I'm trying to bring credibility back to that.
So every once in a while, question, and you're the perfect one to ask this because you are an investigative reporter.
I am.
Every once in a while, they'll have these secret sources where they can't say who it is.
Correct.
Are those just made up things? Like they just make it up and then say, "Oh, we got this from a really reliable source." Is that typically what you do?
Yeah, I'm not at liberty to even discuss that, John.
Okay, I shouldn't have asked on the air. I'll ask after. We'll talk about this when we're off the air.
Unnamed sources are generally a family pet. Somebody,
goldfish.
Some meth tweaker you run into at a stop and rob at midnight. Hey, this is serious biz right here, and thanks to my people at the Argus Leader for cobbling this together for me. South Dakota jails more people per capita than any other state in the country.
Isn't that crazy?
According to a national nonprofit that researches incarceration.
Wow.
Half of those arrests, and this seems low to me, but according to this particular report, half of those arrests are drug and alcohol related.
Yeah.
I would think it would be higher. Compared to about 29% nationally. This organization is called the Prison Policy Initiative. South Dakota, right now today, as we speak, has the highest number of unique jail admissions per capita at 2,888, according to this report, which uses data from the Bureau of Justice. Blah, 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 blah. So basically what they're saying is we tend to put a lot more people in the can.
And other states do what? They just let them go?
Well, there's different things. And I want to say, I think Minnehaha County has this now. If not just City of Sioux Falls, it's called drug court.
Okay.
Which has been a big deal in other states. For instance, Wisconsin's been doing it for a long, long time. Okay. And instead of the usual just, you're going to jail, you're staying there, man, and then you're going to court, and then you're going back to jail. Drug court, for instance, is more of a clearinghouse. They direct you in other ways to maybe try to take care of that little problem before you're doing hard time for something as stupid as maybe smoke too much dope and, climbed up a tree and fell out of it on somebody's car. I don't know.
You say that like you have experience.
I've seen documentaries, John, but this report leads me to this.
Okay.
I, of course, am a big fan of every darn politician who's ever walked the face of the earth, and that's no different than our city commissioners and our city councilors and mayors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was reading the agenda points from this week's meeting for the city council and the mayor. There were 58 items on that agenda.
58?
30 of them, or a little more than half, had to do with liquor licenses, purchase agreements of liquor, wine, or beer licenses, liquor, beer, wine, alcohol transfers. 1-day permits. So
you're saying we got a drinking problem in this town, is what you're saying?
Including people stumping to get wine and malt beverage something for something or another that included the Sioux Falls Public Schools Education Foundation.
Whoa.
and the Messiah New Hope Lutheran Church.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
You're boozing it up there, huh?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's, I do not judge. I do not point my finger and go, hey. But here's the thing, man. It's the first letter in the alphabet twice. Google it.
Yeah. But not 3 times. That's like a trip or something. So.
That's a whole separate thing.
Well, Dan, thank you for that report, man.
Oh, John, seriously, it was pretty much the least I could do.
Thank you for reading the news out of the paper for us today, Dan.
Absolutely.
Coming up, we got entertainment news. But first, we're going to be talking to a guy about a tour. We've got the Home Builders Association this weekend. They have, are you ready for this, guys? The showcase of remodeled homes and the outdoor living showcase. We're going to be chatting with Jay Anderson coming up.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to be chatting about a really fun project that's coming up this weekend. We've got Jay Anderson right now to visit about the Outdoor Living Showcase. And Jay, how are you, sir?
Good, John. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're excited to chat about this. The Outdoor Living Showcase and the Showcase of Remodeled Homes. It's all coming up this weekend, and this is kind of all over Sioux Falls. Are there some projects outside of Sioux Falls as well?
Yeah, there are 14 projects in Sioux Falls proper and 3 in Harrisburg.
Very, very nice. And if people would like to go and view all these projects, how does this work, and where do you even start?
So you can start at any of our projects, and actually you can pay at any project and get a ticket, and it'll have a map with all the different event sites. $5 for adults. Children 2 and younger are free.
Very, very cool. And the Showcase of Remodeled Homes, this is the 18th year they've been doing this darn thing. And there's a lot of great projects that people can go out and see. Outdoor Living Showcase, that's a little different. That's been going on since 2016, and I see there's 6 projects with that. Now, what does that incorporate, the outdoor living portion?
So the outdoor living portion is basically the landscape portion. So you can see pools, water features, fire pits, outdoor kitchens. It really gives people an opportunity to see a finished product.
And if you're considering doing some work on your home or having someone else do the work for you on your home, this would be a great opportunity to get out there and just kind of see some of the cool things that are being done in Sioux Falls.
Absolutely. I mean, you can go to any place in town and see material, but to see material installed on a job site, this is a great opportunity to actually see finished jobs.
If you'd like to get all the information on this event, hbasouempire.com is the website. And then do you guys have all the information in the Home Ideas magazines as well?
Yep, the new Home Ideas has everything. It has the maps. It'll have pictures of sites that you can go see as well.
And then there'll be orange signs around town that kind of point you in the right direction. So if you see one of those orange signs, just follow that, and then you'll be able to get a map to go to the rest of them. And Jay, do you actually have some projects on this tour yourself?
So we don't have any projects ourselves. We're a material provider at Hebron Brick, but we do have quite a bit of material on the projects.
So as people are out there, they're going to see your handiwork. It's just somebody else did the work. You got to supply the product.
Absolutely, which is the best part. We don't have to get our hands dirty.
Yeah, you got it all figured out, man.
Right.
Again, if you'd like to go, it's all coming up this weekend. It's Saturday, October 5th, and Sunday, October 6th, noon to 5, both days. 17 projects in the Sioux Empire, 14 of those in Sioux Falls, 3 in Harrisburg. Tickets are $5. All of the details available right now in the Home Ideas magazines. You can find those at Hy-Vee, and you can get all the information at hbasouempire.com.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Let's hear his living is.
These are fabulous.
They are fabulous. One day they're throwing shade, the other day they're clapping back, then there's shade throwing, then they're back clapping, and they're busy, busy, busy. It's how they stay in shape. What's going on, man? Who's killing it at the box office? I don't know. Well, why don't you take a look, Dan? Okay, I will. According to Box Office Mojo, which I love, weekend ending September 29th. Name it. Heidi, for like $1.37. What was the number one movie at the box office this past weekend? $1.37. Yep. Might
I
have
don't
to
know
write a
because
check.
I don't pay any attention to what's in the theater.
That's why I asked you, because
Abominable.
John, see, that's why I don't ask John, because somehow he has time to actually know this stuff. Kind of freaks me out,
I really
actually.
Do I get $1.37?
You do not. You get nothing, sir, and like it. Good day. Abominable, which I can't say at all.
Abominable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Showed on, I don't care how many screens, but it raked in a little over $20 million, which isn't bad because I've seen the trailers for it. It interests me not at all, even.
Is it about a furry little snowman?
It's about an abominable.
Abominable snowman?
Yeah. Apparently it's pretty adorable. So, Downtown Abbey is at number 2.
Downton.
Downtown. It says, okay.
Okay.
I try so hard to be sincere about these reports, and yet here I am. Here I am. It's what now?
Downton Abbey.
There's no W in the last
Downton.
half of that.
Downton.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, give us just
Weird.
a second here. This is kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. I'm going to turn my screen to Heidi, who's right next to me. What does that say?
It says Downton.
There's no W there, Dan.
Down.
Thank you for turning the screen.
Tonight on NPR, Danny Can't Read. A look inside our public school system. This is Dan Farris. Somehow he's failed upward for 60-plus years.
I'm going to turn the screen. Take a look right here. What's that say? Yeah, Downton.
You know, you could have fudged that and kind of saved me, but you didn't, did you? You didn't. I asked you for one thing. One time.
What a typo. I mean.
Oh, my gosh. That was a beautiful moment.
Oh, it's like autocorrect, but it didn't autocorrect it.
We have followed Dan Farris since the 3rd grade.
And this is why you guys both need to be in this adult spelling bee.
Neither of his parents would appear on camera with us, nor would any of his teachers, or anyone who's ever known Dan. Danny Can't Read, tonight on PBS. A documentary by Ken Burns. Hustlers is at number 3, blah, 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 blah. There's some movie about Judy Garland that's basic failure.
Oh, well then. Thanks for that report, Dan. Sorry.
I believe it's Judy Garland. It could be, I don't know, anybody.
I'm for some reason, your credibility right now.
Could be Jody Horowitz. Not sure.
I'm not going to say that it's shaky, but...
oh, gosh, that was absolutely
well, Dan, thank you again for
amazing.
coming in with this. I can't even be sincere about that. I appreciate. No, I don't. No, I really do appreciate you trying really hard.
Oh.
Let's number to the prayer line.
Got it right over here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.